I'm Anna, and I'm a designer, researcher, teacher at the design school in Kolding, which is in Denmark. And I run my own business on the side, which is made of wired and beaded jewellery. I'm based in Denmark and Germany. I've actually always had a love for the material of beads in general. That started already in the 7th grade when I was making earrings from beads and sold them at the school market. When I was then working on my thesis actually at university, which was very much mind-based. I kind of was looking for something that I could do with my hands. And I came back to that beading passion, and I had the inspiration to include the wire aspect, and I completely fell in love with it in the sense that it's so versatile, and together, putting the beads and the wire together, you have so many possibilities with different shapes and different colors and everything. I make my own beads actually from time to time that I include as well, or I use the wire even without the beads, so as it shapes different forms as well. I actually don't have any formal studying in a sense of the practice per se, but I would say I do have a design education, so that means it somewhat also is joyful for me and exciting to combine different colors, different shapes of beads, different faceted ones. So it's the education from the design that also still comes into the design process of the pieces. When I noticed that people were really interested and really excited about what I was making, I thought it would be a good start to actually start my own brand, which I called Ly Halo. Ly is light and shelter in Danish, and halo we know from the English word of a star of an angel, right? The part at top that they have. And yeah, so that's my brand that I'm really excited about, that I'm building step by step and day by day. My practice has actually changed over time, mostly due to commissioned pieces. I started out very much by myself and just kind of picking out colors that I loved and started combining them. But at some point, when I also, quite a few months just after I started my practice, I sold my first things in a market, and I got my first feedback and actually also my first commissions. And that really changed my way of processing. I'm still doing my own pieces that I'm selling by that. But I do get a lot of commissions, especially from brides, that would like really colorful pieces for your hair, and that kind of resembles flowers in that sense. So my process when starting with a piece would be that first of all, I pick out the beads that just work really well together. I love to work with contrast so that it's, you know, color-wise, but also shape-wise and more surface-wise in that sense. And that's the very first step. So I showcase it, and then we move on to the next step where I'm already doing these singular pieces, and then I place them together. They're not fixed yet. But at this point, I actually share it again to get a feedback onto it and proceed with that feedback. So I see with having your own kind of craft practice and maybe doing your own work in your own brand, it's been actually really challenging for me, the parts that are not creating. So it's more, not creating, but more the focus on the marketing, for example, and getting it out there, because of course, it shouldn't be underestimated. And it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and also a lot of knowledge and practice experience there that comes into it. And that's the part of my own business that I've been struggling with the most. It's not so much the creating the pieces, it's actually getting it out there and sharing it with people. For the future, I would actually really like to do even more workshops like this one for the Craft Hub project. It brings me so much joy to share the craft experience with other people, even if it's for first time or second time. There's so much to learn from each other, and yeah, be in flow together.